Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you on Business Today Television. We start this wonderful morning on Monday with some fabulous news coming in overnight from the women's cricket team. Ladies and gentlemen, the girls are world champions. Congratulations to all. And my co-anchor is also getting mic'd up. Aabha Bakaya for you. For the moment, ladies and gentlemen, a mild dip as far as the Nifty is concerned in opening trades. Nothing to be worried about. 25 points down, 25,696 for you. We will be reacting in the market to very strong GST data. Fabulous auto numbers for the month of October from all sorts of companies. Maruti, Eicher Motors, Hero Motors, TVS Motors, Ashok Leyland, Tata Motors, the entire gang, as also two very strong GST collections despite the rate cut. So that's a big positive that I'm looking forward to in the market, but as good a time as any to welcome Aabha.
Good morning, Shell. What a wonderful Monday, celebrating the victory of the women's T20 World Cup team. I think it's phenomenal the way they've risen to the global stage, and this is after a recent spate of highs as well. I think it was Smriti Mandhana beating Virat's record. Yeah. I know I don't follow cricket too closely, but I think they've just been delivering a stellar show consistently. So fantastic, and we're all celebrating here.
And you know what's wonderful, Aabha? This is again the 1983 moment for Indian women cricket. From now on, you will see a dramatic change in terms of number of audiences attending women matches, and the kind of sponsorships that will come in, the kind of incentives and the kind of enthusiasm there will be amongst girl cricketers across the country. So all very good. I'm hoping one of these days you and I will own a women's cricket team.
You never know. You never know. Why say no?
I'm looking forward to bidding for one. I'm seriously telling you.
Absolutely. I think the bidding action will move to here, and I think that's what's exciting as well. Well, let's take a look at the markets. Shell, we've seen global action pretty decent overnight, but the Nifty is just about steady. We've got auto sales in action, GST numbers that are looking good. So why is the Nifty still looking a little cautious, so to speak?
Yes, I think that's a very sensible question, Aabha. What we'll do is we'll look at the long-term chart of the Nifty on a weekly basis. What has happened is that we've had 3 stunning weeks of fabulous uptick in which we added about 1700 points on the Nifty. Last 2 weeks have been sideways, mainly on account of, how should I say, this run-up that had already happened, and for the market to digest that exceedingly strong rally. And of course, earnings haven't been up to the mark. So all that we were looking forward to was the GST number, the collection for the month of October, that's come in at 1.96 lakh crore rupees, and of course auto sales. You see the run up on Maruti in the last 3 months. We moved from 4 digits to 5, which is 11,000 to about 16,000. You've had a very strong rally in Eicher Motors, in TVS Motors, Hero Motors, in fact the entire auto pack. That is now getting digested in the market, and that's the reason why you have a sideways to consolidating trend on the Nifty. The bulls will not give up 25,800, 25,700, and the bears won't let them go above 26,000.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at those auto sales. Maruti Hyundai, as Shell said, in line. M&M is looking to launch a 7-seater electric SUV, the Mahindra XEV 9S, on 27th November. Recently been seeing a spate of launches. Shell, Mahindra, of course, now Hyundai, Maruti, all gearing up. In fact, Maruti's total sales for October up 6.5% on year, and that's the highest ever actually for Maruti Suzuki. And total exports were down about 6% on year. But let's focus on the sales numbers. Maruti will likely be in action today. Tata Motors sold CV units up 10% on year, and PV was up about 27%. So good set of numbers coming in from Tata Motors too. And then we have M&M. I'm just going to run you through all the key auto numbers just before opening there. M&M saw sales up about 31% on the UV segment, and CV was up about 14%. And they're also set to launch that new car, as I just mentioned as well. So all of these in focus on the back of auto sales delivery. And Hyundai, interestingly, was down a little bit on on year in October, but rises if you look at the month on month numbers. So that's on the auto pack. Some of the stocks on news for you on your screen as well, but lots to track this morning. We've got on earnings front, a Godrej Consumer that's actually spoken about a better H2. They have maintained a 7 to 8% guidance. So Godrej Consumer is one. JK Cement on your screen. We're seeing profit up 27.6% on JK Cement. BPCL has seen EBITDA margins at 9.3 versus 8.6. PAT up about 5.2%. That's a beat on GRM versus estimates. So we'll keep our eye on BPCL. HPCL also had a good set of numbers. So despite everything that's going on with regards to the Russian sanctions, we're actually seeing OMCs in focus for results as well. And Bank of Baroda saw numbers better than estimates too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's another one to track, isn't it, Shell, given all the action on the PSB side?
Absolutely, Aabha. I think one strong trading community in terms of sectors has been PSUs. Look at Canara Bank, up 40% over the last 1 month or so. A very strong rally in Bank of Baroda. Indian Bank is at a record high, ditto for State Bank of India, and this is on the tailwind of a further set of mergers which the government is planning to do to reduce the number of PSU banks from 12 currently to just say less than 6. So that's what is driving consolidation. That's what is driving this very, very strong rally, especially in SBI, Indian Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda. You can actually guess, Aabha, the ones that will survive. And these are the 4.
Yes.
At least.
It seems to be consensus, and we'll ask Vaishali as well when she joins in just a moment. But lots there to track this morning. We're just counting down to the opening bell. Tata Chemicals board has okayed raising up to 1,500 crores via NCD. The net profit is actually down 60%. Revenues also down. So Tata Chem, keep an eye, may not see a great reaction today. Titagarh Rail on the back of an order, same with the Dredging Corp, signs several MOUs with 16 organizations worth 17,645 crores. So dredging could see some action. BEL has retained its guidance as well. So BEL also retaining guidance, Godrej Consumer retaining guidance. So a couple of these are the other ones that are in news. I'm actually just going to count down to the opening bell. How many minutes to go, Shell?
Aabha, we have the opening quotes right in front of us. The Nifty flat as flat can be 25,723, 5 points higher. The Bank Nifty 51 points higher. The midcap 100, actually we forgot to discuss this. Small cap and the midcap 100 will now see a sectoral rotation happening into them. So that is something to look forward to. And of course, in terms of top gainers, you have Zen Technologies about 4% higher. Cable company RR Kabel 100 rupees up at 1513. A strong move in Godrej Consumer Products, and of course a very, very smart rally coming in terms of BEL. We'll see this company hitting a record high in the month of November. Guidance and numbers have been pretty good. 428, 1.9% higher. In terms of leads, these are stocks which are slipping. Maruti down 2%, that's a bit worrisome. Reliance up a rupee 70, so that's how the markets have opened.
Right, so BEL and Godrej both on the guidance. Maruti, I'll come back and talk about that in a moment. Let's take a look at Bank of Baroda because a good set of numbers there. Let's see if that's reacting well, and also pull up the OMCs just to see what's happening on those. Let's pull that up for you. Bank of Baroda rocking up about 3% as expected. So that's definitely one to have a conversation on shortly. Let's also pull up some of the other stocks in news like a Dredging or a Tata Chem and see how they're reacting on top in terms of news. HPCL is up close to 2%. So looking good as expected there as well. On the Dredging up 8%, Shell.
This is a very, very, a stock that is not appreciated in the market, and it's a monopoly. You have to clean up your ports. Only Dredging can do it for you. And it's owned by 4 ports themselves. So the business is more or less confirmed. And Dredging Corporation for you at the moment up about 795, and it's bounced from its 200-day moving average, 7.5% higher. That's how it is. I think Vaishali is with us, Aabha.
Yes, Vaishali, good morning. Lots to track in the markets. We've just been diving through all these stocks and news and reactions. Firstly, let me understand, the market setup as you're viewing it, a mix of macro as well as domestic factors. What to you are the most crucial factors to watch out for?
Hi, very good morning, Aabha and Shelji. Yes, of course, Monday morning, there's lots to look into. So, well, the week starts on a tepid note. We are seeing some profit booking on the major index. So, I would say for this week, we are looking at 25,400 as support, and 26,200 is the hurdle. That needs to be crossed to have a confirmation of the uptrend. So, we'll be focusing more on stock specific.
And what are those stocks, Vaishali, that you're looking forward to you? Good morning to you. And Aabha, I
Very
must
good.
tell you, we start the week with two lovely ladies on the show. And I've always told Vaishali she's a lucky mascot.
Yeah.
Even she can confirm. Vaishali.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope I keep up with that. Yes. So, Dredging Corporation is, of course, one of the stocks that we've always been talking about. So, I think that is also a good stock right now to consider. But as per last week's move, what we witnessed, it was Chennai Petroleum, Sattva Chintan, which has given a weekly breakout. So on cash category, these are the stocks to my liking. And in the front line, I'm looking at Ashok Leyland.
Ashok Leyland from the auto pack, but let me also get a view from you on a Maruti, Vaishali, because lots of good news in terms of sales numbers and so forth. But the stock, I don't know if it's profit booking, but seeing a bit of a knockdown effect today. From the auto pack, what would be your view on a Maruti, for instance, down almost 3% now?
Well, so Maruti was showing resistance at 16,400 as what we saw last week, and now it's broken the 16,000 support level. So I think this is in for a further or more profit booking coming to around 14,800, I guess. Yes, so 15,500 would be the first support that one can look into. But seeing the chart, I think, well, be cautious. We can see expected target of 14,800.
Okay, that's on Maruti for you this morning. Let's see, also bring up Bank of Baroda. Good set of numbers coming in. We're also tracking both consolidation as well as increase in FDI norms when it comes to the public sector banks. Your view on a BOB, it's up now 4%. Markets clearly liking what they're hearing.
So yes, PSU banks are still the flavor, and well, we are seeing a good opening, and I think in all likelihood this can gradually go towards 320 levels. So we've seen a lot of strength. 290, of course, is the near-term resistance. What we would be seeing, that's the previous high. So if we see a follow-up buying at these levels, I think 320 can be the next target that one can expect.
Okay. For the moment, about 1500 stocks in the green as far as the markets are concerned, Aabha. 921 in the red. So it's an easy 3:2 for the bulls as far as the broader market is concerned. Strong show by Nifty Bank. Despite the weakness in the Nifty, you have the Nifty Bank about 100 points higher. And it's the mid caps and the small caps, Aabha, that are now showing signs of strength, mainly because they have underperformed the Nifty for a very long while. And this is a catch-up trade that's happening in the mid-cap and the small-cap space. To you, Vaishali, any mid-cap or small-cap stock that you would advise on the long side?
Well, mid cap, let's see. I mean, we'll wait for some time, but I think I'm still looking at Vedanta if that is one stock which appeals to everyone. So, Vedanta, but I would also be looking at the pharma sector and energy index. So, let's see how the day starts, and we'll be having a view on these stocks.
Okay, so still sort of wait and watch mode on some of those. I want to just pull up, the OMCs for a moment, Vaishali. Given the recent news flow, I know that we don't necessarily talk about them very frequently, but what's your take on an HPCL and PPCL from these levels?
So it's Aabha, actually energy index is just begun with its momentum. So overall, if I were to talk about IOC, HPCL, I think they are already in a trend. So view continues to be positive. We can expect higher targets in times to come.
One stock that I'd like to mark, Aabha, from the chemical space is a blowout that's happening on Navin Fluorine. On Friday, while we were in Bangalore, the stock had gone up 14% after a very, very strong set of numbers. The rally continues another 3.5%, and this is a fresh record high. Navin Fluorine, to you, Vaishali, a view on this one. Is this
Well,
momentum needs to be
well,
tracked?
Well, I would say it has already given a breakout and we are seeing good levels already coming in. So I would say, well, no new buy strategy because ideal level was of course 4,500 and we are already seeing a good run up. So I would say seeing the monthly chart also it's showing a lot of strength. So to those who are holding should continue holding with the trailing stop loss. This can give you a next target of 6,200.
Ladies and gentlemen, fresh highs in the market despite a mild weakness on the Nifty, a record high on Shriram Finance, 5% higher, ladies and gentlemen, 786, and the reason being this transaction that's impending, a Japanese giant wanting to buy a majority control in Shriram Finance. That's news that has come in last month, but the momentum continues. We've discussed Naveen Fluorine, and it's the banks, ladies and gentlemen, that are doing phenomenally well. Federal Bank, fresh record high, 237.4. Karur Vyasa, 3.8% higher, 252.5. SBI already at a record high, and amongst the NBFCs, ladies and gentlemen, L&T Finance, AB Capital Markets, and of course the one that we've discussed for a while, Shriram Finance. Vaishali, amongst the three, Shriram Finance, AB Capital, L&T Finance, what catches your thought process?
So well, L&T Finance near-term model, it's in a very strong uptrend. 278, 280 was the previous high that we witnessed and it is showing a resistance. But if you see the stock moving above that, then it's ready for a target of 310. And likewise, even Shriram Finance continues to do well. Today also we are seeing a lot of strength. So I maintain a positive bias. This can go towards 800 levels soon.
Okay, 924, ladies and gentlemen. For the moment, it's the auto pack which is in pain, and the pain, ladies and gentlemen, is defined by Maruti, 15,785 down 2.5%, but M&M leading the charge, 7%, 70 rupees higher, 3,556. Ashok Leyland 6%, 0.6% higher. Tata Motors passenger vehicles 0.5% higher, and amongst the ancillaries, Sona Comstar and Exide putting up a strong show. Aabha.
Okay, just a few other stocks in news. We've got the GHCL board approving a share buyback. That one's in the news this morning. We've talked about Shriram Finance, of course. Titagarh Rail, again, it's order action there. Zentech, it's order action. NCC as well. We've been talking about defense for a while, Vaishali, and we also saw the news of major contracts, a major defense push that's coming between the US and India, a lot of contracts to be signed there as well. Just want to get a sense from you when it comes to, the defense space in particular among the larger, basket, whether or not you're positive on that and you see that as a theme that will continue to build up.
I would say so because, of course, the stocks are already in a trend. So if I were to talk about stocks like BEML, technical target resistance has already been met with. So if you see the stock going, and this, in fact, as a disclaimer, this we have been recommending since quite some time. So if it moves above 440, then the next target would be around 470 levels. But I'm also looking at HAL. HAL is in that zone of 4650 to 4950. Once we see a clarity of the stock, technically, if I'm talking about 4950, this is heading higher. But in the cash category, Garden Reach, even Zen has, I think, showing signs of bottoming out. We've seen good corrective move. So I think we can see a bounce coming in those. So, these are the stocks to my liking right now.
So, Vodafone also seeing a bit of a move coming in today. TGH in talks to invest $6 billion. This is according to media reports. So Vodafone seeing perhaps some amount of relief action. We did see a bit of relief last week coming in for Vodafone, but Vaishali at the same time, long way to go on those AGR dues. Meanwhile, Bharti has been starting to move up fairly consistently. Where are you placed when it comes to the telecom pack?
Well, I would be always very conservative, though Vodafone looks very tempting and all, but I would stick to Bharti. And it's a safe bet. It's already in a good trend, good bullish candle formation. So I would say, Bharti would be my favorite pick. But to those who are die-hard traders in Vodafone, keep a strict stop loss of 8 rupees. If it moves above 11, you are looking for higher targets.
I think there are more heartbreaks on Vodafone on the long side than they are in the South African cricket team at this point of time, Aabha. But I think go for consistency, and that's Bharti for you. Very, very strong set of earnings over the last 2 years, mainly on account of the rise in prices for calls that we make, and phenomenal data consumption in India. That's driving this stock 1 year 30%. If you stretch the chart by another year or so, you will see a 50% rise on, okay, 100% rise in the last 2 years. So that's how Bharti has outperformed the market. Nevertheless, a strong show coming in from the financial side, Aabha. I think it's very hard to take away your eyes from Shriram Finance, 5.5% higher. Strong volumes as well, 273 shares, 273 crores traded, and of course you marked the OMC set. So these are the ones that are doing well, and of course Godrej Properties, Godrej Consumer Products 3.6% higher, 1160. Aabha.
Yes, I want to talk about Godrej Consumer. Vaishali, let's bring that one up. They're consistent in their guidance, and let's bring up Godrej Consumer. That's the one that's moving on your screen, and markets are also clearly liking what they're seeing there. What's your view on a Godrej Consumer in terms of how much further it can move from here?
Well, Godrej Consumer already showing a lot of strength, so I think it's just the beginning. If there is a follow-on like about 1300, if we see this, it can go towards 1500 levels. So for now, as a trading target, I would look at 1300 levels.
Okay, so that's Godrej Consumer for you. On the auto pack, M&M, by the way, isn't doing too bad, even though Maruti is really bringing down the basket, but M&M's looking decent. Like I mentioned, on order buzz, Zen Technology is up about 4%, so that one's moving. Wockhardt is moving today, interestingly. That one's up about 5%. We'll just see if there's any news that's really driving the action there, but Wockhardt's buzzing. Some of the new age or the other stocks, Urban Company is down about 5% today. That's on earnings. And, you know, we're constantly seeing this conversation happening with regards to valuations versus earnings and how they'll be able to sustain. With the Lenskart IPO also currently underway, Vaishali, it's a very hot debate. So Urban Company, first set of earnings post-listing, and the stock seeing a bit of a hammering this morning. Your take?
So I would say it's comparatively, of course, a new stock, nothing much to talk about. But from what I'm seeing chartically, it's in a very narrow range of 145 to 160, currently at 150. So it needs to give a clarity only above 160, 163 levels. Do we see that this stock can get into a trend? Till then, I think it's just oscillating between 145 to 150, 160 levels.
9:30, the first 15 minutes have lapsed as far as markets are concerned. Let's look at the Nifty 25,650 for you, ladies and gentlemen, down about 65%, 65 points. I won't be worried at all. The rally is being very, very strongly shouldered by the PSU pack, doing extremely well. Banks are doing a fabulous job. Let's look at the Nifty PSU Banking Index, which is the top gainer not only today but for many days in a row. And what a rally, Aabha. On 1st of September 2025, the index was at 6826. We are now at 8313. 1.5% high. Aabha, yeah.
It's definitely been steady. I think there's no complaints there. And I think if we look at the order buzz in the market too, I think that's also fairly encouraging, whether it's been the auto sales numbers, whether it's been order buzz. You know, there seems to be action all around. Of course, you know, some disappointments here and there. So we do have, you know, something like a Tata Chem this morning that's disappointing on earnings, for example. But overall, the momentum seems to clearly be intact, and we're still headed for a new high as well.
Absolutely. So new high on the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, is on the cards. Remember this. The banks are driving it. Aabha, the last time we saw a record high in the Nifty PSU banking segment, it was in June of 2024. So that's a very easy 18-month move that has been now taken out with a very, very strong tailwind. Remember, the credit growth in PSU banks is higher than private sector banks. Valuations, there is no comparison. PSU banks are way, way, way cheaper. And of course, now this merger news that is coming in, let's see how it goes. But the tailwind is absolutely strong. Let's try and get a long-term chart of Canara Bank. This Aabha is a stock that needs to be discussed in detail. We've seen a low of 81 rupees in March of 2025 from 81 to 140. And in this duration, Aabha, in the last 6 months, two Canara Bank subsidiaries have been listed. Canara Robeco AMC and Canara HSBC Life Insurance. Now, if Canara Bank would emerge as a company that will exist post the mergers, then these two companies, which is Canara HSBC Life and Canara Robeco AMC, will have a wider network for distribution. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why Canara Bank is going up. Look at Canara Bank Robeco and look at Canara Bank HSBC. Aabha.
Okay, so that's Canara Bank for you. Vishali, within the public sector banking basket, I think, Shell, you mentioned four. So Canara, was it Bank of Maharashtra?
No. So the survivors,
yes.
Of course, SBI.
SBI.
No doubt.
Yeah, BOB.
Okay. It's 26% of the Indian banking setup. BOB, yes.
Canara.
Canara, yes. And Indian Bank.
Indian Bank. So Vishali, would you agree? Or what else would make your list if it comes to a few select names in the PSB basket?
Well, I would always go for SBI to start with. But besides that, well, we are seeing good pickup in Canara, Bank of Baroda. So these are the ones which are very healthy even now. So, it is make your own choice. It's just like that. But I would definitely start with an SBI because this has given a clarity right from 840 levels. We have been tracking it and recommending. And I think this still has scope for further upside. So along with this, of course, these other banks are also looking quite promising. But I would also bring to your notice that in the cash category, stocks like IOB, UCO Bank, they are technically very well placed. So they really need to be looked into because I think in times to come, these should follow as well.
These are the ones which will be merged into bigger banks. See, and of course, their valuations are also dramatically attractive. So we really don't know what the blueprint is, which three banks will go into the main one. But the fact remains the number of PSU banks will come down over the next 2 years, Aabha, from 12, 13 presently to 6.
Okay.
That's the game plan. Yeah. And remember, 3 years ago, they were about 28. So, that's the
consolidation.
That's the balance sheet strength that is coming in. And over the next 15 years, we will see, apart from SBI, 2 PSU banks coming in the global top 100.
Okay.
So that's the broader tailwind that is driving this PSU merger consolidation. And it's a very, very wonderful development because for 30 years we've seen business investors moving away from PSU banks to private sector banks. The kind of wealth people have made in ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank is phenomenal.
Absolutely. All right, Vishali, from the broader markets, I'm going to probe you some more for some picks or favorites or, where you feel there's value to be had in the market right now.
So one stock to my liking is NBCC. If you have a look at NBCC, it's gradually getting in a trend. Risk reward rise also, it looks pretty favorable. I would say 114. I mean, we've seen a good consolidation coming in the stock. And I think the way we are seeing the candle, 110 on a broad base is a very prominent support. And from here on, once it crosses 119 levels, which was the resistance last week, once we see a close above that, the stock is ready for a target of 130, 135. Along with this, I think few of the rail stocks also technically well placed, but we shall wait for a confirmation and momentum to set in. So I think rail stocks can also be looked into.
Exactly. Rail is the other space. And within that, what would you say? Which of the names within the rail basket? Because like I said, the order buzz continues among that pack as well.
So I would say, one of them is Jupiter Wagon because a long consolidation right from 315 to 330, 35. So once we see the stock moving about 335, I think this has scope for a good run up coming in this stock. And along with that, of course, IRFC, that would be the other stock and the likes. Yeah.
So this week, no one's talking about metals, Shell. I think because risk on is back, and we're seeing a bit of cooling off, perhaps from those high levels, but hasn't come up once, and we're at 940.
Look at Hindalco, and this is a discussion worth following up. Aabha, thank you for marking that out. Look at Nalco. These are stocks that have done phenomenally well over the last 3 months or so. I think Hindalco, you will see the chart moving from 600 to 850 in a span of maybe 3 months. Nalco, National Aluminium, has moved from I think 170 to 238, a single rally. And this is what is profit booking and money moving to relatively cheaper stocks. It's a cyclical rotation. What can one do?
All right, but just keeping tabs, because there's just such fury around these metal names and the kind of run up we saw last week, or the last few weeks, in fact. Now, of course, some eye on earnings as well. Let's also take a look at, just out of curiosity, Vaishali, and I know you're probably not so enthused, but since there just is so much talk around the IPO market, I just want to get your perspective on whether or not investors should be looking there. Because yes, there's all this talk about valuations, but if we see the spate of IPOs that are coming up, there's naturally a curiosity and a question around whether retail investors should participate or not. We've got Grow, we've got Lenskart, Pine Labs, just a few in the first half of November.
Well, frankly, I'm not much into the IPOs, but yes, Lenskart and all, they look quite good. So I think one can definitely take a chance.
I think one must also learn from history, Aabha. All those IPOs that have, have investors fretting over, have, become available cheaper in the market post their listing.
But the question now is, Shell, which everyone's still not convinced about, that they may have bought in at very high valuations. How long is it going to take them to get back those returns?
Yeah, so one thing is for certain, valuations are sky high.
Yeah.
And there is, I wish something were to be done at the regulatory end, because, when you look through Lenskart in particular, look at how the 300 crore profit number has come in. None of it is from their main business, right? So one really wonders whether you want to give a valuation of 70,000 crore rupees. And Aabha, the one very wonderful thing about markets is the more patient you are, the more money you will make. There's no point in putting in money where everybody is rushing in. Just wait. And Paytm has been a glorious example.
Okay.
2100 is what the IPO was. 400 is what it went to.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
So one must understand that the Paytm is a great brand. And I think what came out of COVID was Paytm, right? It had a terrible IPO, despite being such a strong brand name.
Yeah.
And the sensible people bought between 400, 500, 700, less than 1,000. They are making tons of money even now. So money comes to the patient. This much is what I can tell you.
This much is clear. Yeah. Yes. All right. Okay. So Vaishali, if you're looking more at the structural trend, and we spoke about defense, we spoke about rail. If we are looking more at the structural trend changing on that front, would you also then be naturally bullish when it comes to steel, metals, and the entire sort of related adjacent counters as well?
I think so, because metal has already got into a trend, and of course, very likely it's going to take a breather right now. But as long as the levels are intact, I think it still has scope for further upside in metal stocks as well. So when Shailji was talking about Nalco, I think it still has scope. I'm not too sure about Hindalco because it's run pretty much. But the PSUs again, I see SAIL showing a lot of promise, even Nalco. And along with that, look at Hind Copper, these offbeat stocks, so they all look quite good at these levels.
Hind Copper in particular, now 345. Just look at, the stocks that Vaishali is suggesting. Of course, they are metals, but remember, they are PSU metals. And Aabha, that is where the value lies. You see, for how long, end of the day, all metals are commodities, right? You don't get any premium for buying metal from Hindalco versus metal from Nalco. Price wohi hai, and that's determined by the global markets of the price of aluminium. But value, where is value? Value lies in the PSU basket, because those are stocks that haven't been appreciated by the market as much. Look at Hind Copper. If you look at valuations, they will be in single digit PE even now, despite the fact that the stock has rallied from 262 in the last month or so till about 340, 350. So, if you want to buy value in the market, it's easily available. It's just a change in the mindset, and that's being provided by PSU banks.
What about some of the stocks that that drove up on the back of gold prices, apart from the financiers, something like a Titan, for instance, Vaishali? Would you say some amount of cooling off is in order? Would you continue to be bullish, given that everyone's been talking about the kind of market and the kind of potential for some of these names?
So I would say, we've seen good run up, but having said that, Titan still shows strength. So I would take a calculated risk. I mean, if to those who have already holding in their portfolio should continue holding with their long-term perspective. So 3600 should be the trading stop loss to hold, and look for a target of 4200. But besides that, Manappuram, Muthoot, if you're asking me, I think they also need to be looked into carefully, because we've seen a massive run. So not too sure for a fresh buy, not at all, but continue holding, and yes, either book should profit.
Okay, Nifty in the green, Aabha, 60 points up, 23,770. This is the celebration of the women's cricket team victory of the World Cup. Vaishali, I'm wondering, you saw the match last night or not? It happened on your patch.
Oh, definitely. I did not even miss a ball. I mean, it was so good, and I think the ladies, Indian women, took it to another level. It was such a matter of pride. They did it so well, so strategic, no nervousness, very well played.
With that, let's hope for a very strong innings in the markets as well, Vaishali. Anything that's looking good in the small cap space on the monthly charts? We haven't had a great time for smalls and mids in 2025. Is there a value buy? Is there a chart which is telling you go for it?
Well, I don't know if MRPL comes in that category. Monthly chart, that looks good. Even I'm looking at latent view. That is also showing good strength, and this stock has really not performed, but now showing strength. So I would look at these stocks.
Yeah, look at latent view. It's just burst up from 200-day moving average. And what's the all-time high? That's the key that I often look at. 750 is the all-time high. It's available at 465. Okay, so there's margin of safety, at least from the point of view of how the stock has moved. What are you tracking, Aabha?
I was looking at ITC and just wondering, really what to make of the numbers, because decent set, but some concerns around slower growth versus rivals. But otherwise, it seems to be a decent set coming in from the FMCG major. We already talked about Godrej Consumer. On an ITC, it's just about just marginally in the red today, but 4.5% up for the month. Agribusiness is where the drag is, but we've got some buy calls coming in on the counter. What's your view, Vaishali?
Sorry, you asked me about agri stocks, right?
ITC.
So,
ITC.
Well, ITC is hardly a trading stock. I mean, I would not look at it with a trading perspective. But it is quite all right. 390, 400 is the buying zone, and look for a trading target above 420, 425. We look for a target of 440. That's the way I would look at this stock. But I think it's a good dividend stock and stable. So not to my liking for trading perspective.
Okay, 16% uptick in dredging corp, Aabha. Now we are at 860. This is a company which has a market capitalization of about 2500 crore rupees. It's announced a capex of 4000 crores, and it has an order book of roughly 17,000 crores. So again, a PSU company. People miss the wood for the trees, and that's how it is. 1200 was the most recent high in October last year, and we've seen it collapse to 660 in mid-October. So from 660 all the way up to 850. The charts, Vaishali, on dredging, what are they telling you?
Well, very good stock. I think if the past data shows from 1400 we saw a big drop. Then we saw a good consolidation coming at 600. So the previous high was also, I mean, previous low was also made. So in the process of higher bottom formation, and now the way it's moving, I think one should not miss the stock. 700 should be the near-term support for a positional trade, and look for a target of 11 to 1200 to start with. About 1300 in all likelihood, we can see it retesting the previous highs.
Okay. Ixigo is also looking to raise about close to 1300 crores via preferential issue. Let's just pull up that counter. Let's just see how it's placed right now. So some amount of fundraise coming in there on an Ixigo as well. It's the other stock in news this morning. Other than that, we're continuing to see a lot of buzz when it comes to the travel hospitality space that continues to buzz. New hotel launches every single day. We've seen Aviation also consistent. No major moves on that side, but consistent. And the market is definitely growing. Maybe the stock markets are waiting to see how the earnings pan out. I mean, even an Interglobe today is just up about 1%, but it's just been steady.
Yes, it's been steady, Aabha, but here's a stock that's gone up 3x in the last 2 years. So, and Indigo controls 65% of the Indian aviation market. How high can you go from 65? And the rest of the setup, whether it is Akash Air or even SpiceJet, really hasn't caught up. So
Ixigo is taking a bit of a tumble today.
That's the fundraise that you talked about, right? 1300 crores.
Yeah.
So that's a dilution of equity, which essentially means the same profit will be divided over more people, and that's the reason why I think this is down how much?
4%.
4.5%. Yeah. This is a low that was last seen in August. So that's how it is clicking. Vaishali, anything that's on your charts?
Well, for Ixigo, no.
Anything else? Anything
just
else?
a clear no.
Yeah.
So,
well, we discussed most of the stock shares, so I think for now.
Thank you, Vaishali. Thanks for joining us this morning, and great to dive into the broader markets with you. And lots of interesting calls coming in from Vaishali, as well as a clear stay away as well from some of the names that perhaps she doesn't see too much.
I think Intellect Design is something that's worth marking. This is a stock that's 9% higher, and Aabha, it has that very erratic move. जब चलता है ऐसा चलता है कि लोग देखते हैं. So 9% today, and if you see a weekly chart, you'll see probably another 9% in the previous week. So Intellect Design is the top volume buzzer on the National Stock Exchange. 24 lakh shares on Intellect Design have been brought in, and of course you've marked Wockhardt Pharma in the early part of the market. 6% higher, very strong volumes, 2.3%.
What do you think is happening there?
Earnings? Again, one of those stocks that you so wish you catch it at the right time, because it has a very high beta and it does immensely well. Look at Intellect. So 9% today and 9% in the previous week. So that's the mad rally. Again, a bounce from 200-day moving average. And of course, Wockhardt Pharma, if our PCR can throw it up 5.5% higher. Very, very strong volume. Already 2.3 times the 5-day average, and we are at 950. So it's a strong rally in the offing, Aabha.
All right, we'll leave it there this morning. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good trading week. From Shell and myself, it's bye for now.
Welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. With me is Shell Bhatnagar right here in the studio, and this is BTS. Behind the Scenes, a show where we share a sneak peek into the latest